So, hello. Let's talk about the failed rebellion of Wagner of yesterday. You can see this map. It was made around 1800 local time yesterday, and it shows that they were like 100 kilometers away from Moscow. So they went all the way from, um, from occupied Lugansk almost to Moscow. They were in the border of Moscow region uh, yesterday at 1800, and then around half past 8 Kiev time, uh, Prigozhin released audio message that they don't want to share Russian to shed Russian blood, and to then they are going back um, uh, to field the camps, and just not to escalate further. um, so it was very anticlimactic because nobody really understood what happened, because he was there is a saying that if you want to strike a king, you should strike him. You cannot stop halfway, because you will be dead, because the king will have his revenge on you. So if you are already um, getting ready, or even you're getting ready to strike the king, you are already um, up your hand, and put up your hand to s- to strike, getting ready to do that. You should do that, otherwise you are dead man. um, just to recap, the day before, there was a so-called strike on the some camps of Wagner Group, with casualties. That's what Wagner and Prigozhin was saying. But there was information that to Rostov arrived some group of about 2,000 Spetsnaz, Russian Spetsnaz, and the task was to apprehend Prigozhin and some other Wagner um, fighters, because they were given a deadline to sign a contract with Russian Ministry of Defense, uh, meaning that Wagner should have been practically dissolved, and to be merged with regular Russian forces. And they were not going to sign this contract. And to ensure that they sign or they are apprehended, there were around 2,000 Spetsnaz people sent to Rostov, and some of them were reporting that to their relatives, because and they were not happy about this prospect, because they didn't want to clash with Wagner's. Uh, on the other hand, when Wagner came to Rostov, where and took Rostov, where were these Spetsnaz people? Why were not they were not defending? They fled, or what? Also, there was information that Shoigu himself was in Rostov to oversee this apprehension of Prigozhin and Wagner people. So it seems to be, this Wagner rebellion was, it seemed to be a forced thing. They were forced to do that to to save their lives, or to avoid being apprehended by Russian Spetsnaz. They wanted to strike first. But on the other hand, there is an indication that it was planned, because you can see that there were quite a lot of vehicles, and it means a lot of fuel, and they went all the way from occupied Lugansk uh, almost to Moscow. Yes, they went in Voronezh. They took some fuel depot and they could refuel there. And then this depot was, or maybe some other depot was struck by helicopter. Also, you can see that they went into two columns. One was going straight to Rostov. The other one was going to Voronezh from other part of occupied Donbass region. On the way, they took in Rostov the airfield. Also, they took the huge airfield Millerova. And then they took one more airfield in Voronezh region. Then they went through Lipetsk, Tula regions all the way to Moscow region, and they were within striking distance. Then of Moscow, and it was not some kind of a show. It was not some kind of a circus. Well, it was a circus at the end. It happened to be a circus at the end, but mm, we have seen that the Russian elites fled to the top echelon Russian government officials. They fled to St. Petersburg because they were afraid that Moscow will be taken. Also, nobody knows where Putin was at the moment. At that moment, and my personal opinion that it was quite stupid for Prigozhin to stop, because now what is known right now that he is going to exile in Belarus, and all these negotiations were held actually by Lukashenko, the dictator of Belarus, and he was given. Prigozhin was given assurances that he will be safe in Belarus, and so that he is going there. Wagner is going back into occupied Donetsk to their field camps. Some of the people who were not who were not involved in this rebellion, Wagner people, will be allowed to sign the contract with the Ministry of Defense of Russian Ministry of Defense. Then also some, but on the other hand, there were several detachments that were saying that they are with Wagner and they will support them. The regular military detachments, and now I think the FSB will have a field day. They will be apprehending left and right, left and right, all the Wagner sympathizers who revealed themselves during this one day failed rebellion. Yeah, and they will be doing that with with a lot of yeah, they will be doing it with a lot of zeal and really enjoying themselves doing that. Um, because they were scared as well, FSB people. They were scared as well. Uh, what else? Wagner, I think, just well, we have seen the end of Wagner. It will cease to exist as a separate detachment. It will be absorbed by by Russian military, because I don't think that it will be allowed, that Prigozhin will be allowed to rule them, to command them anymore, because it's too, it is, they show to be a too formidable threat to Russian regime to be left alone, to be left existing. They should be dissolved. They should be disbanded. They should be absorbed. Broken, should be broken into pieces and absorbed into military. And and that's the best outcome for Wagner from this situation. The worst outcome, and the outcome that I think actually awaits for them, is they will be killed. Quite a lot of them will be killed or imprisoned, including Prigozhin. I don't think that he will. I mean, I don't think he should trust Putin or Lukashenko or I don't know. This guy is quite experienced, and he should see it much more clear than me. That it's. I I don't know what kind of guarantees he was given, but I would not trust any guarantees at this point, because he was showing the king the vulnerability of the king, that any force that have several thousand people and several hundred of armored vehicles can go and take Moscow. He was he was within striking distance of Moscow. He could do that. All the barricades, all the attempts to stop his column, including airstrikes on his column, they were all repelled, and they were unsuccessful. And in Moscow, there were some military detachments. There were quite a lot of Rosguardia and Spetsnaz forces. But who knows if they were willing to fight Wagner's? Because Wagner's are battle-hardened troops with lots and lots of experience, very ruthless, and I mean, the palace guard, the ceremonial forces will going to we're going to resist them. I don't think so. I don't think so. And then there was this funny episode with Kadyrov forces going to Rostov, and showing that they are in traffic jam, and there was no traffic jam at all. They were just not willing to. They were, as they quite always do. They are they are show offs. They were saying, yeah, we're going to show this Wagner, this Prigozhin, who is the best army, and they have not. They made sure that they will not arrive in time there. Yeah. What else? What else? Um, let's just have a look at all this news. So there were news at 1800. I'm just there were some uh, memes, and then it is 2029 at local Kiev time. Prigozhin said that he was going away. Then there was a video that they are going back from Rostov. Yeah. Then, yeah, the issue about all these helicopters and airplane that were shot down. About 15 Russian pilots were killed there. And you see this burning helicopter, and the text says it was a prank. Now they are they cut all these roads, they dig trenches, and now they were filling them in back. Yeah. Oh God, how many? Yeah, again, it was that you were all talks and no actual, funny meme that it was all talks and no actual, action. Russian drunks are posing in front of the Russian tanks in Rostov, and you can see that this tank, it is uh, the the thing is that right next to the headquarters of Southern District Command, there is a circus, and you can see that there is a tank, and there are some billboards for circus performances. So it is this picture is best characterized what happened. It was a circus, and the text he said, clowns just cannot leave the circus. Then Peskov said that because in the morning or even the day before, they already opened the criminal case again against Prigozhin for mutiny. Then Peskov, the speaker for Putin, said that this criminal case against Prigozhin will be dropped. Then Wagner Group will go to the field camps, and Prigozhin will go to Belarus. Wagner people who were not taking part in the rebellion can sign contract with Ministry of Defense. Those who took part in this rebellion were promised not to have any consequences. And one more thing, that all this was to oust Shoigu and Gerasimov from leading this war, from commanding this war. Peskov said that during the negotiations with Prigozhin, this thing, any changes in of the top of Ministry of Defense were not discussed. So, meaning this march for justice was for nothing. All this, all the stated goals were not reached. Probably the real goal was to take Prigozhin off the hook, because he was. They were going to get rid of him. Now he was given some assurances, some guarantees that he decided that are good enough for him to stop that. And you can see that they are leaving now, not now, yesterday night, that they were leaving Rostov, Prigozhin forces, I mean. Then there was a joke. For fuck's sake, I saw this porno for the first time. It was such a porno that nobody had a climax. Now then, some Russian meal bloggers are saying that they are mourning for all these Russian pilots that were shot down by by Wagner forces. All this, that they have some babies and other family members. And now you can see the Prigozhin himself is leaving Rostov, and everybody is cheering. Everybody is. I mean, he's quite popular guy. Everybody wants to help him. You can see that they are quite enamored with this guy. So what it showed? It showed this one day rebellion showed that Russia is how it's called, uh, giant on weak feet or something like that. That anybody could march. Anybody who have several thousand ruthless men with some several hundreds military vehicles can take Russia without any problem. Can he held to Russia? It's another question. I mean, even if he took Moscow, um, it was shown in that he didn't know what to do. In already in already in Rostov, when he took Rostov, he didn't know what to do with Rostov. So I'm not sure that it was. I'm not sure if it was um, he could held to power once he took Moscow, but on the other hand, he would have a much better negotiating position when he took Moscow than before that. So I'm not sure that it was a good move. Again, I don't know anything about the situation and about what they were discussing with Lukashenko and what he was promised and what was starting position, what was his real state of his forces, what was the real state of the positions that they had in Moscow. But it looks like that he just stopped within. I mean, how it is called, snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Yeah. So thank you for watching this. I will give some more updates, and yeah, if you like that, subscribe and all this bullshit. Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye till next time.